Hey divas, welcome back to Women Unleash, where our inner strengths meet unapologetic confidence. If you're just joining us, we're in our month 7 of our transformative journey. Woo. And in the last 6 months, we've been working on ourselves. Last month, we're talking about wellness, inner balance, and emotional mastering. So we've been working on our inner self. We've been learning how to control those emotions because we know the women we're becoming. We do not have time for tantrum. We do not have time for anger, for disappointment to weigh us down. We want to learn to be able to control those our emotions, because what you do not control will control you. So now we have rested, we have recalibrated, and we have healed. So we're not just no longer healing now. We want to be rebuilding. We want to be working with clarity. We want to be working with intention. So this month, our month 7, our topic is going to be purposeful living and aligned action. Purposeful living and aligned action. Now we're working on our outside. We worked on an inner self. Now we want to be working on the outside. And our first week, this week 25, our focus will be rediscovering our why. So rediscovering our why. Why are you doing what you're doing? Why do you want to be that outstanding makeup artist? Why do you want to be that global influencer? Why do you want to be the best nurse of the year? Why do you want to be, the best female engineer in your department? You need to rediscover. This is when we go back again to all our values, all our manifestos, all the personal values that we were writing at the beginning of this program. We want to rediscover why we want to become this women. Why, these are goals, our values, and our endpoints are so important to us. For example, I run a charity. I run a children's charity called Josima Baby Bank. You can check online and you can support the work we do there. And our intention, our purpose and reason why that was founded was to ensure that every child has the best start in life. We always say fingers are not equal, so we know that not all the children have the best. We'll be fortunate to be able to get everything that they need to live. Not all children will be able to get a place to sleep in, a carry cot to move them from one place to another. And that is the reason why this charity was formed. So every now and again, when things happen, when people make wrong referrals, when you get to a client and client is behaving in a way where that is not appropriate, you remember again the goal, your vision, and your reason why this charity was started. Because we want to ensure that every child, that child in our womb, when that child is born, that child has a safe place to sleep. It's a Moses basket, or it's a bed that the child needs to sleep in, clean beddings, a travel system to move the child from the hospital, to the house, from the house to shopping, food for the child to be able to eat and and grow. It might be, the mom wants to breastfeed, you want to be able to provide the pumping set, all the formula, all the nappies that this child needs. So you look beyond every other things and remember the reason why this has been formed. And that's the same reason. You want to rediscover, you want to go back to your drawing book and say, why do I want to be an exceptional makeup artist? There's so many makeup artists in town. Why will you be different? Because perhaps your reason might be you want to teach people how to learn to enhance their beauty, to want to teach them the science behind, beauty, or how to enhance their beauty, the things they use for them, how to be able to use organic, makeups instead of using so many chemicals that damage your skin. You need to go back to your reason why you are focusing on what you're focusing. You need to know the reason behind your whys, basically. And that's where we'll be starting from this month, because a woman of purpose will live intentionally. The more clear your vision is, the more consistent you're going to be. If you know why you're taking those steps, you become more steady, you become more conscious, you become more disciplined, ensuring that you're getting to your end goal. You wouldn't have time to be throwing tantrums. Now is when you have time to ensure that you continue to master your emotions, control those angers, control those lack of resilience, and be able to push forward, move forward in what you desire to be. So, divas, this month we'll be reconnecting back to the reason and the purpose why we wrote down those, manifestos a few months ago. So, like I said, it's a clarity for consistency. When you know why you're stepping, you step more steadily. So I said rediscovering your why. Rediscovering your whys does not mean that you are reinventing yourself from the scratch. No. You want to ask yourself, what values guide my decision right now? And that's where we're talking about going back to the drawing board. Why did you say you want to become this? Why do you have the vision of that woman you want to become? What are the values that are guiding you? What are the values that are guiding you and leading you towards that position? What energizes me rather than drain me? Are there things that we are doing, that taking up space? Are there times where you're wasting emotions, confronting people, arguing, and re-explaining yourself over and over again that you need to, cut off from? Are there people that are not aligned with your visions that you need to, take a pause, and then so that you can able to move on and fulfill your vision? What has God placed in my heart for this season? Not my past, not someone else's timeline. Because purpose sometimes is seasonal. What are you meant to be doing at this point to be able to get to your end goal? Yes, you want to be that profound makeup artist, but what do you need to be doing at this time? What has God placed in your path for you to be able to get to that destination? And that's why you're rediscovering your why, of why you wrote those values, those intentions at the beginning. What aligned you 5 years ago might not be aligning might not be aligned to your purpose now. So I said this week we invite you to release distractions, which is very true. Distraction that dilute your focus. Are there things that are beginning to confuse you? Is it because it's taking so long for you to get to your promised land? You're beginning to get distracted. You're beginning to get discouraged. That is why you're going back to your drawing board. That is why you're sitting down to check again. Why do I want to become this? Why do you want to be the manager in your organization? Why? There's so many other people that can't be. It's not just because I'm the best for the job. There must be a significant reason. If there is a change that you want to make, what positive change is it that you want to bring to that organization, that you think that you will be the best for the job? Because that is what you've been prepping for the past 3 months. To be prepping to become a manager, to be a lead in your organization. But so many people are going to come on that day and say, I am the best for the job because I can do this. But something must stand out in you for you to be chosen as the best candidate. And that is what you're going back to do, to rediscover your reason for wanting that that purpose that you have written down that you want to get. Commitment that drains your energy. Are there things commitment that are draining you off? They're not giving you time for you to focus on your end goal. Expectation that no longer aligns with your calling. Are there things that you're doing? Are there expectations that you have set for yourself, but they do not align with that anymore? They do not align with, where you're going to. It's just for example, you want to learn so many things, you want to take so many courses, and you want to become a medical doctor. Goodness. And there are 2 courses for you to choose from. One is coding, and the other one is understanding human behavior. And you decide that you want to go and do coding. Sweetheart, yeah, coding in future might teach you how to write, how to understand people's emotions, prompts that you need to go through. But at this time, where your focus is becoming a medical engineer, you want to be learning how to understand human nature, how to understand human behavior, so that when you get to your client, you know why the client came in first thing in the morning, the client is angry, the client is upset, or the client is always laughing, or the client is just not engaging. That's what you want to be doing. You don't need to know why you're, taking those courses. You just don't pick anything out of the blues. You need to be doing what aligns with your purpose, what aligns with your destination. So sweet that this week, as we go this way, I want us to live with intention. Go back to the drawing board. Go back to your manifesto, your personal manifesto you wrote. I will put a link on the topic when we treated the topic. Go back to to read. See why you wrote those manifestos. Go back to your values that you wrote about. You said that are supposed to align with your visions and your dream, and rediscover why you wrote them. Rediscover why you're going to where you're going to. And as we continue to align, as we continue to move forward, as we continue to advance, the sky will just be our starting point. So, sweetheart, till I see you next week, go and unleash your world. Love you.